Dad, we were talking about your activities in the Tennessee Bar Association. Now, I know one year you were vice president for West Tennessee. Tell us about that. When was that?
1963 and 64.
Who was the president of the association?
Shep Tate.
Tell us about that year in the Tennessee Bar Association.
Well, that year we had the midwinter meeting in Jackson, Tennessee, and the integration of the bar was a big deal. We had a real fine midwinter meeting, and that's about all I can remember about the activities.
What'd you think of Shep Tate?
Shep's a good fella, and I enjoyed working with him. I've worked with him later on legal matters, and with a young partner of his, Tom Hutton. They are quality people.
Now, when did my granddad, John Buchanan Avery Sr., get appointed to the Court of Appeals in West Tennessee?
Jim, I'm not sure of the date.
Early 50s?
No, it was later than that. I guess it was, well, probably early 60s.
During those days, when he was on the court, and my brother and I were living at home with you and Mother, and my Uncle J.B. and his family lived 2 doors up the street. Remember, we'd all eat lunch at Daddy Buck's house on Sunday?
Yes, yeah.
I got a lot of my indoctrination into the legal profession sitting at that table at Sunday lunch with a judge on the Court of Appeals and 2 mighty good lawyers, you and my uncle. Tell us about how I got that indoctrination.
Well, J.J. would relate to us the facts of a case and sort of lay it on the table. And usually there would probably be about three different opinions on it. But we would discuss it, and J.B. Jr. and I would be very free with our advice. I don't know that it was often taken, but we would argue the case.
Well, it made an impression on me, even if it didn't impress my granddaddy. What's it been like practicing law with me last 30 years? The first 35, you were on your own solo. I've been here since 1972. I know there have been some good times and some not so good, but
well, it's been great. I've enjoyed coming to the time when I didn't have to do trial work. I mean jury work anymore. Trial work's all right. I enjoy the chancery practice, and I enjoy leaving the jury work up to you.
Tell us about your daily practice now in 2002.
Well, I do mostly probate and estate planning and real estate, and occasionally I do a little research for my junior partner.
What has motivated you, Dad, to be an active, full-time practicing lawyer for 65 years?
Well, when I became 62 and eligible for an early retirement, I seriously considered it. And I got to thinking about what I would do every day after I got up in the morning. Would I play golf every day, or would I go fishing every day? And it just didn't seem plausible. I enjoy having some place to go and something to look forward to and feeling productive. And that has motivated me to continue the practice of law.
What do you think about your decision to turn down the urgings of your good friend George T. Lewis and the invitation of Charlie Bryan to take a table in his library in Memphis and come to Alamo and practice law here?
Well, I've often wondered about the Charlie Bryan situation. Maxwell, his junior partner, his only partner, within a year was killed in a plane accident, I believe, flying back from the legislature in Nashville. And within a matter of 3 or 4 years, Charlie Bryan died. So I have wondered at times if I had gone there and gone in, what part of their practice that I would have inherited and how much. But I have no regrets. By and large, I'm very happy with my decision to come back here. It's been a good law practice. The people have been very kind to me.
Being a country lawyer, have you had good relations with city lawyers as well?
Excellent.
Did you ever know a fellow by the name of Leo Bierman?
Yes, I did.
How'd you get to know Mr. Bierman?
Well, I had a case in Shelby County.
And I want to make sure we're talking about the right fellow. Leo Jr. practices now. Is that who we're talking about?
No, we're talking about his father, Leo Bierman Sr.
All right.
He and I represented a lady who was from here, who was in an accident in Shelby County. And after that, we had a mutual respect. He had a case involving insurance with the frozen food manufacturers and processors in Bells, Tennessee, and he associated me in that. And I had an incident to occur that involved Leo. Sarah and I were at a performance of something funny happened on the way to the Forum, I believe was the name of it. And we were on about the second row, and when the girls came out with the short dresses, I heard two men behind us laughing and chatting with one another. And when the intermission came, I looked around, and lo and behold, there's Leo Bierman and Walter Chandler, who is Wythe Chandler's father. And they had been having quite a bit of fun there.
Dad, I think your English professor, maybe here, Miss Carrie Bowles, and the gentleman at Southwestern who had you memorize the Canterbury Tales must have had a profound influence on you, because you always have recited to me a little poem that I've put to good use in my law practice. And it's about a fellow who was allotted 20 minutes for a speech. Tell us that poem, recite that poem for me.
They gave him 20 minutes, but he finished up in 10. Oh, what a scholar and a boon unto man. His diction wasn't such a much, he hemmed and hawed a bit. He spoke a little common sense, and after that he quit. At first we sat plumb paralyzed, then cheered and cheered again. They'd given him 20 minutes, but he finished up in 10.
What have you enjoyed the most about the practice of law this last 65 years, spanning 2 millennia?
I might facetiously say collecting my fees. That has been, no, actually, feeling that you are a service to your fellow man and to your country. Law is a very wonderful profession. It's a necessary profession because we are a nation under law, and to keep us on track you have to have lawyers. And it has just been gratifying to me to be a part of this great profession.
Well, it has for me too. You got me as your oldest son. You have one other child, my brother, John Avery Emison, in Knoxville, right?
Yes.
And he is in the contracting business.
Beg pardon?
He is in the contracting business.
Yes.
And a PhD in geography from Oregon State University.
Right, right.
Your oldest grandson is a lawyer now.
Yes, he is.
Your namesake.
Theo III.
What are your thoughts about your grandson entering the practice of law?
Well, it was a great deal of satisfaction to me. I don't know that I would have been really disappointed if he hadn't, but it's gratifying to me that he saw fit to go into the legal profession.
Dad, is there anything that we haven't discussed that you would really like to add to this interview?
Well, I can think of one thing, and that's a case, I believe it is the first criminal case that Judge Bailey Brown, federal judge, presided over in Jackson, Tennessee. Franklin Murkson, who was later appointed to the judgeship, while he was practicing law, he and I represented a young lady by the name of Lehman. I have forgotten her given name.
Patsy.
What?
Patsy.
Patsy Lehman. She was indicted for robbing the bank of Crockett Mills. And during the voir dire of the jury, it came out that one of the prospective jurors, as he put it, was a keeper of the bees. And I leaned over and I said, Franklin, by all means, we gotta take this fella. And we did. He became foreman of the jury.
Why did you take him?
He had to be a patient man. If you fool with bees, you gotta be patient. And you got to know how to handle people. He became foreman of the jury and they came back not guilty. And the night after the trial was over, he brought my client 2 pounds of honey.
A sweet victory.
That's right. Larry Parrish was the assistant district attorney, and he was distraught. He could not believe it.
Well, you made an impression on the beekeeper.
That's right.
My last question. What advice do you have to your grandson and other young lawyers who are just entering this profession in the year 2001, 2002?
Be diligent. Be curious as to what's in the books. And as Don Payne would say, read the rules. And try to give quality service to every client.
Thank you, Dan.